I learned so much about the soy sauce, even if I was born and raised in Japan. You educate me about the soy sauce, and then I still don't know so many about it. So, would you mind to explain about your Shiso Soy? I know you have two products. It's Marudai and Koikuchi. So, what's the difference between?
So I went to Japan 4 times. I spent a few months there visiting breweries. And what I learned is it's a very complicated process, as I said, to produce soy sauce that creates these varieties. So I tasted them, and they run from a kanru, which is a very dark, heavy soy sauce used for cooking, to a clear soy sauce, which has a very delicate flavor that they put in soups and other dishes where the color is more important and there are more subtle flavor. So the most common soy sauce by far is a style called koikuchi, which is made of 50% wheat and 50% soybeans.
Mm.
And it's the vast majority of any soy sauce you get in Japan as a koikuchi style. It started in the Kanto region, which is Tokyo, and sort of took over. It's the, sort of the Budweiser beer formula of soy sauces.
Mm.
So traditionally, soy sauce was made in Japan with whole soybeans, and it had been done that way for 1,000 years. And then after World War II, Japan was so devastated by the bombing and the war that there was close to a famine in Japan. And most of their food then came from America. And the only soybeans that were available on a large scale, which is what soy sauce is made out of, came from America. And they provided defatted soybean meal ground into small pieces. So the brewery shifted from using whole soybeans to ground soybean meal, which had been defatted. And it turned out that it was much cheaper and easier to ferment it and produce soy sauce with the defatted ground soybean at the expense, I feel, of a certain amount of flavor and quality. So that became the dominant style. And today, even most of the Japanese soy sauces, including kikkoman, are produced with defatted ground soybeans. The Marudai soy sauce that I import, a few of the older breweries, traditional breweries that still exist in Japan, started producing Marudai over the past few years, the traditional whole soybean recipe. And it provides for a fuller, more complex flavor, and it's a richer, deeper flavor as well.
So if I could say, because I'm in the background with wine, so koikuchi is like a more like easy to drink, like easy to taste, and then Marudai is more like a reserve. It's more like a complex and a lot of flavor going on. Is that right
I think
understanding?
I would agree with you. I would say it's comparing something like a Budweiser to an IPA or a very light, simple red wine to a Cabernet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got a more rich, complex flavor to it. That being said, when I eat sushi, I do some amount of pairing of soy sauce with the fish I'm eating. And if I'm eating a more delicate item of sushi, let's say a hotate, a raw scallop, or a raw shrimp, I might prefer the koikuchi for that, the lighter soy sauce. And if I'm eating a more flavorful oily fish, like some kind of sardine or a tuna or a salmon, something that's richer, I prefer the richer sauce. It's sort of like pairing a wine with a meal. If you have a fish, you have a light white wine. And if you're eating something that's really rich, like a ragu or a steak, you move towards a richer, heavier flavor. And I say heavy as a positive word, not as a bad thing. It's a pairing and balancing of intensity of flavors. Which